I just got back from a first date and we matched on Hinge, and I just don't really know why I'm still doing all of these meaningless first dates that is leading nowhere. Like at this point, I'm in my late 20s, I'm 28, I'm just so convinced that not everyone's lucky enough to find their lifetime partner, and I'm okay with it. Like I finally came to a realization that I'm accepting that I might just be ended up being alone forever.
Every single one of my baddie friends that is single is looking for a progressive man. I'm hearing over and over again from men and women that the dating pool is so bad. If you're a single man looking to bag a baddie, the easiest thing you can do is align your views with an ideology that uplifts and protects women. Done. If we're being so for real right now, the bar is virtually in hell. So if you're a progressive man, you're practically a unicorn gem amongst this field of piss poor people. So yeah, you'll bag a baddie. Just lead with that.
Oh, God. Men in my comments. You should try to date a regular guy. Why would I do that? Be fucking for real. The passion that boils in my bones, the desire, the decisions I've made every single day, the hard work I've put into myself, and you want me to just go get a guy with a regular job? Be so for real.
Well, maybe they're suggesting that you go date somebody else or a regular guy because whoever you've been trying to date doesn't seem to be working for you if you're sitting in your car complaining about guys that you just don't have access to. Maybe that's why they're suggesting that you try something different, because what you've been trying obviously isn't working for you. That makes sense to me, logically. Number one, women fought for equality. This is what they fought for. Like, I see a lot of women saying there aren't enough men that are overachievers and we're out achieving the men and this is why they're less desirable. They're not overachievers. But that was the whole point of the feminist movement, was to be equal. But when it comes to the equal responsibility, or sometimes maybe even more responsibility if you're the breadwinner in the relationship, a lot of women don't want to take on that burden. So what did you actually fight for? You wanted to be equal to the men, but now that you're equal to the men in terms of how much you're capable of making, all of a sudden the men are disgusting because you make as much money as them now. Which is just silly to me. And this idea that because you make more money as a lady, you can't date a guy that makes less money as a man is silly to me. And the idea that a man can't be a good leader because you make more money than him is just silly to me. There are plenty of coaches that can't dunk a basketball, but they can coach in the NBA. There are plenty of coaches that aren't as good as at the thing that they coach as the people that they coach, but they're still good coaches. Just because you make more money does not mean that you are a better leader or you have more discipline than the next man. That's just not how it works. And just because you make more money as a lady does not mean that you can't be in a good relationship with the man. And the respect that you have for him shouldn't be tied to how much money he has. It should be tied to who he is and his work ethic, how he cares about you, how he displays his feelings to his family. You know what I mean? Like, there are other intangible things that men should be valued by, but ladies are making more money than ever, and they don't want to value men for those things. They say that men only cared about money, and men thought that all they could bring to the table was money. And now that we hear, you could have a guy that fills in every box, but because he doesn't make as much money as you wouldn't want to be with him? Sounds like it's the ladies that made it all about the money.
Be so for real. It's no disrespect to those men. You guys are valuable. You are God's creatures. I love you. But do I want to mate with you? No. The passion that I put into my everyday life, the grind, the consistency. I'm a serial entrepreneur. My businesses are thriving.
Get out of here talking about consistency. I make a little bit more money, and there are people that go to work every single day, and they're significantly more consistent than me. There are days where I just don't want to upload, and because I make a little more money, I can take that hit on the chin. People who have these businesses or make a little bit more money just assume that they have more consistency or work ethic than the next man. I will never, ever laugh at somebody who works a 9 to 5. My dad had to wake up at 5 a.m., walk 2 miles to work every day, 2 miles there, 2 miles back. He worked harder than me. Now, I maybe put in some time in something that was a little bit more lucrative, and that's why I could make more money over time. But at the end of the day, in terms of just straight up work ethic, ain't nobody touching that man. So I don't want to hear that, bro. These business owners, people make a little money and just start thinking that they're superior in every way, bro. You're not more consistent. Let's just be honest. You're probably taking vacations if you're making as much money as you say you are. You're probably taking days off when you just don't feel like working because you're making a little bit more money. But don't try to act like you're just more consistent than a person that has to go clock in. That's just not true. Those people hardly get any days off. You could be literally on your deathbed and they want you to show up to work. So I don't want to hear that.
I'm so proud of me. And you want me to just date men for any old reason? No. Like, the way that I'm building my family and my empire, I am scouting your genetics. This isn't gonna work for me, babe. I don't want you to have 12 kids all over the earth. Oh no.
She says she doesn't want to date a regular guy and then explain somebody that's just not regular. Because I agree with her on that point. You shouldn't want to date nobody that got 12 kids all over the earth. I agree. But that's not a regular guy. Let's just be completely honest. Now she's trying to drop the pole and try to act like regular guys are just these disgusting. Come on now. Regular guys ain't got 12 kids all over the earth. Most guys ain't living like that.
That's embarrassing for me. I'm judgmental. I hate how everybody tries to act all perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm judgmental. I'm judging all of y'all. And I don't want no parts of that shit. Your decisions are showing up in your life. You have the job you have today because for the last 5 years, you thought it was playtime. It's not playtime for me yet. And I've known that probably since I was about 16. I've seen the struggle of my family for generations. And I was like, I'm going to be the one to change this. And now you want me to go mate with some guy that has a regular job? What does that even mean? What is a regular job? If you're talking about NFL players and athletes, when have you seen me date an NFL player or an athlete? What are y'all even talking about? I've dated one person in the limelight for 6 months as a fun fling, and now you want to put it on me like no, I've had 2 boyfriends my whole life. I'm very selective.
How many cars you got? A lot. How many bodies you got? A lot. How many bodies do you got? You dated 2 people in your entire life, and how many bodies you got? And this is something I want to say, too. And you ain't got to date a lot of people to understand this or to be this. But oftentimes when ladies put all of their effort into business, I'm not knocking what she's doing. I think it's an amazing thing if you could break generational curses, make a bunch of money. I think that's a beautiful thing. I don't have an issue with that. What I'm trying to say is there are certain skills that you need to build a business. And there are certain skills that you need to have a family. There are a lot of ladies that assume because they can build a business, they can have a family. And those are 2 totally different sets of skills. My wife, who does not own a business, has different skills than I guarantee you that this woman has. Certain skills that allow her to maintain a family. And that's what's important. She says that she's only had 2 boyfriends and she's been on flings with NFL with the NFL player or superstar, whoever it was. It doesn't matter. But none of this indicates that you actually have the skills to be a wife or a good mother. Those are 2 totally different things. And I know for the feminists or the women that go out into the workforce and they're super hoorah about it, I get it. Y'all think that it's just so easy you could just go jump into that role. But that's why you see the failure of so many marriages. There are a lot of ladies who assume that just because they can start a business or go work at a job consistently, that when they want a family, that's going to so easily translate into them having a family. Oftentimes, there are women who just want to be, and I'm talking about regular, like normal women that go to work. Oftentimes, there are women that start to want families later on in life because they want to escape plan from work. They get tired of going to work, so all of a sudden now they want to be a stay-at-home mom, but yet they have not developed the skills to be a stay-at-home mom. There are certain skills that are required to be a stay-at-home mom, and they shouldn't be scoffed at. Those women work very hard. A mother works very hard. It's not just because you own a business that you work hard, and those are skills that you got to develop over time. And oftentimes women who focus on careers, they don't have those skills, and they don't understand that those are 2 different sets of skills. You can't just jump into being a mother or a good housewife. That's not how it works.
And I'm not disappointed in that decision, but now I'm definitely more thorough. I'm still young, but I'm not 21. I'm not just out here, oh, let's go have a good time. Give me some money. No, I'm getting money. I'm not dating. I don't know what you mean when you say go date a regular guy. I want to date a man whose passion and desires have been showing up every single day consistently.
But do they want to date you? That's the question you got to ask yourself.
That to me is so sexy. You're hungry and you're eating. I like that. I like that. You respect yourself. You respect your family. You like your bloodline. Yeah. Come over here. But a regular guy who's just getting by, who's okay with the bare minimum? No fucking way. I work too hard. God made me too special. No.
Yeah, God made you so special, you might be special ed. And by the way, guys, I never have a problem with women and their standards. I think that everybody should have standards. I think that men should also have standards. I actually think sometimes and oftentimes men don't have enough standards for the women that they choose to invest in and date and spend their time with and all these things, especially procreate with. I see some guys, I'd be like, why would you even be sleeping with that woman? Because if she has your kids, are you going to be proud of that? But what I'm trying to say is I don't have a problem with her wanting to date who she wants to date. I think that the issue is here people or other men are trying to give her advice, rational advice in my opinion, that maybe if the men that you date don't seem to be wanting to date you because you haven't been able to lock one down, maybe you should try to date a regular guy. There's nothing wrong with a regular guy. And there are a lot of regular guys that have amazing character. I'm telling you right now, my dad, he taught me how to be a man. And because I make more money than him, I can't hold a candle to that man. In terms of his work ethic, in terms of how well he treats people, in terms of how good he communicates, in terms of how social he is outwardly with other people, and how comfortable he make people feel. I'm not even in the same ball game as that man. And he worked a hard job. I seen him do it for as long as I've been alive. So this whole idea of a regular man just not being as good as you because you make more money than him is just silly to me. So again, I'm not knocking her for having her standards. You can have whatever standards you want, but I'm just laughing at her. Actually, I'm more laughing at her because obviously your standards don't seem to be rational. And the rational decision would, if your standards aren't working for you, maybe you should change them a little bit. Or you're going to continue to probably get the same result. Whining on TikTok, talking about how you refuse to date a regular guy because you're just so special. God bestowed this ability upon you. Well, hopefully that same God can give you a family, because that's who you're going to need to figure out, to get who you want. People be 40 years old talking about, I'm still looking for this man. You going to meet him. His name is Jesus. Just keep on waiting, baby. Till next time.